In this lesson, I'm going to give you an answer to the question, can I create a report without a layout? And if so, why would I do that? Let's have a look in the application. So if you're going to build here a report data model, for example, I'm going to make use of the customer table or of the item table like we did before. You might notice that in the properties of the report, by selecting an empty line, there's a property called processing only. If you're going to put processing only to yes, it means that the report will not be able to contain any layouts. So if I do this, there will be no layouts. Now why would I do that? Well, actually, what I can do then is I can program in my report. As I already explained, we have triggers available in the report. For every data item, I have these triggers. And in these triggers, I can write code, which is going to modify information in the database. Why am I going to do this in a report and not in a code unit? You might ask yourself. Well, the advantage is that I have my triggers. If I have one or multiple data items, for example, I have the item table, and then I'm going to go to the item ledger entry table. If I create it as a data item, item ledger entry table, then I'm also going to have these indented data items, and I have all of these triggers available. So actually in my code, I have triggers prepared that will allow me to program in a loop. First go over the items and then the item ledger entries. So that's an interesting feature to have in a report without a layout or a processing only report. Another advantage is that when we run the report, we will have actually a request page. I'm going to demonstrate this in a later module, but a processing only report also has a request page that we can use. So let's summarize this in the presentation. Can we create a report without a layout? Yes, we can do this by making use of the processing only reports. Now, what is a processing only report? Well, it's not going to print, but it's only going to process data or CL code. We are going to do this by activating the processing only property. Once it's activated, there will be no possibility to create the layouts. And also when we're going to run a report, the print and preview buttons are going to be replaced with an OK button. It also means, of course, we'll not be able to create any layout for this report, but that's the purpose actually of a processing only report. Now, are you ready for the tip of the week? Actually, this processing only property can be used as an interesting feature. And let me demonstrate this in the application. Let's presume here that I have already created a report, and we'll go back into the report for the inventory. And let's say that I'm going to save this as a new report, because I would like to create a new one with the same data model, but without a layout. So let me give it a number, let me give it a name, another report as the name. Imagine that you would like to start from scratch with the layout, or there is an error in the layout and you don't want to spend time to fix it. You would just like to remove the layout for that report. Well, very simple. Just go into the report properties, put the processing only property to yes, answer yes to this question, and now the report layout is completely removed. If I now go into, for example, the layout, there is no layout, as you can see. So that's actually a way on how to get rid of the layout for your reports. Just put the processing only property to no, to yes. After you have done this, then go back into the properties, put processing only back to no again. So it means that you will be able to create a layout for your reports. And then if you go to view layouts, Visual Studio or Report Builder will open with an empty layout, and you can get started with a clean sheet. So that's actually the tip of the week. How can you actually use the processing only property to get rid of the report layout for an existing report?